The MLS All-Stars just got a 5-0 whooping at the courtesy of Arsenal. And it just keeps getting more and more embarrassing every time an MLS All-Star team plays against a European team. And if we want to take MLS seriously, or if we want other countries or leagues to take MLS seriously, then we got to change the way we do stuff. And I think I got a couple ideas on how we can do this, make the MLS All-Star game a little better. So without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Drew, and like I said earlier, we're going to be talking about the MLS All-Star Games, how we can fix it, and how to keep our league from looking so embarrassing when we do these yearly MLS All-Star Games. But before we get started, if you guys are not subscribed yet, or you guys have not smashed that like button, be sure you guys give it a try. It actually makes you feel good, and it actually makes me feel good as well. So think about that. So MLS All-Stars, again, 5-0 whooping by Arsenal, and that came quick. The biggest error that MLS All-Stars have when facing these big teams across the pond is that the MLS All-Star team is just the best, some of the best players available or picked by fans and Don Garber or that coach for that specific game. Not necessarily players who are used to playing together or on the same team. Most of these players have never played together ever in their careers or their lives, and probably never will ever play together. There's no chemistry. There's no consistency. They literally train for like a week and a half, and then they're expected to come up against Madrid or Arsenal and put on a good performance and actually win these games. Like good, like that's the expectation. When you see our best players, we expect them to win a game, or at least not lose so embarrassingly. But it's already fighting or playing with one hand behind their back because they don't their players are not cohesive. They're not playing players who are good to play with each other or have experience with each other, or a coach who knows how to handle these certain players because he doesn't use them every weekend. Whereas the team that they're playing is a real team where they're used to playing with each other and for years now, and have a manager probably who already is consistent with their team and knows the formations. It's already a big flaw. MLS really changed the way they're doing this MLS All-Star game, not because they think they can compete with the likes of Man U, Real Madrid, or Arsenal, but more mainly because of the fans and because of como se dice, the money, right? MLS All-Star, MLS, and everybody in USA Soccer, everybody who even likes football in this country, soccer, football, whatever, you know that you're watching other leagues more than MLS, or you know more players in other league teams than MLS teams. I mean, that's how I feel. That's how I know. I got into soccer and football again from watching like Barcelona. So Barcelona and Liverpool are both my teams across the seas, but here it's a union. But I know more about the Liverpool or Barca's history and teams' greatest players than I do the Union. Now that's because MLS is still a young league, so a lot of fans are still kind of new to this. It's a growing league. But I think the way they're doing stuff right now is making it a lot harder for fans outside of MLS to really grasp and kind of take this league seriously. If you're getting whooped 5-0 from your best players you have available in your league, that's crazy. It's so insane. How can anyone look at this group of players and be like, yep, they are really good. They could be mid-table Premier League level. No, it's impossible. So here is my idea of how I think the MLS should fix this All-Star Games to help the league be taken more seriously and not looked at like a fodder league, a farmers league. One of the first ways that I believe the MLS All-Star Games could be changed for the better to make it not look so embarrassing to the rest of the world is just go back to how they used to do it back in the day, okay? They did this for almost 10 years, and that, of course, is the conferences against each other. West Conference against Eastern Conference. Which conference really is the best side of the country or of the league? Maybe throw in some USL players in there. I think that'd be a cool idea to kind of spice it up, change a little bit from the past decades they used to do this. You can have a whole big mix of players from Phoenix Rising with LAFC and LA Galaxy players mixed in there, and then you up against players from the Eastern Conference like Cincinnati players, Union players, DC United players, Indy 11 players, stuff like that. I think would be a really cool idea to see. And I think a lot of MLS fans right now watching this, hope you are, would really actually be okay with this and be on board because, like I said, it won't make the league look so fodder or so embarrassing trying to pick their best players available at that time to come up against a team, like I said earlier, that's already an established team with an established coach and established chemistry. It would really help it because I think what you could say stuff like, okay, well, Drew, well, the Eastern Conference players and in the Western Conference team, they're not going to play together either. Well, yeah, but also they're just playing against MLS players. It's just the same family. You're like, we're not going out and challenging ourselves to these big giant teams. It's better that these players who are used to playing with each other week in and week out against each other, it's probably a little bit easier to find some cohesive chemistry with that team than it is to just mix a bunch of random players from all conferences to face off against a big hard team like Arsenal or Madrid, or Manchester United. The second way I think MLS could improve the MLS All-Star game is actually my favorite. I would love to see that. They did this once back in 1998. It's called MLS USA against MLS World, meaning all the MLS players who represent the USMNT or could be called up, like American players, up against the MLS players who are not American players or American born or represent the USMNT. So you can have a team like Andre Blake, Jacob Glesnes, Henny Mukhtar, Chicho Hernandez, Carlos Vela, Ricky Puig, all up against players like Christian Roldan, Jordan Morris, Brandon Vasquez, Kenan Acosta. How crazy would that be to see those players, and some of them are already teammates, going up against each other? I would love to see Kenan Acosta up against Carlos Vela. I would love to see, Julian Carranza up against Alejandro Bedoya. That'd be so cool to think about. Seeing these players face off against each other. Like, wouldn't that be cool? Like, I know some of you guys and MLS fans would love to see this. Like, a lot of you MLS haters will go ahead and say, yeah, the USA-based players would get smashed. And they probably would, okay? They probably would. But you know what? It would still be a really fun thing. And I think MLS could also market this and the Eastern versus Western Conference in a way that they can still sell, make some money. Because it's all about money. That's why they changed the way they do stuff. And if you don't want to do this, guys, MLS CEOs or boards, these two options, in my opinion, are the best option. It's going to be so awesome. I would totally watch MLS and take it more seriously. The All-Star game, I really hate because it's just a money grab. That's all it is, right? It's a money grab for Don Garber, for MLS execs, but that's it. And it's a showcase for the fans who are fans of other leagues across the pond here in USA. And it makes sense to bring those teams here. I get it, okay? But it all comes down to money. And I think MLS is smart enough and good enough to use these two ideas I have for you guys, to use them, bring these ideas back from the past. It would be so much better than facing off against big-ass teams getting whooped like this. What would you guys do with the MLS All-Star game? Would you change it? Would you totally scrap it? Or would you take one of these ideas I offered in this video? Let me know down below. And as always, thank you for kicking it with me, and I'll see you next time. Peace.